Hello Aries, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Queen of Wands. You're somebody who is pursuing a purpose. You're somebody who's living a purpose-driven life. Yeah. I think that you are maybe at sort of the tail end of something, like things are just about to sort of wrap up. There's sort of a culmination or a conclusion. I think that we're heading toward. You're somebody who is very much in charge of things. I know that's kind of a stereotype for Aries, right? But maybe not. You know, maybe the Aries energy stereotypically is more of you just kind of like to get up and rush off and do things. This is sort of, you know, you're a cardinal fire energy. This is a mutable fire energy. So this is saying that you're not just there at the beginning when things are good and fun and lively. And no, you're there at the end when things really need to be sort of wrapped up. You know, you're not the one that just likes to go to arrive at the party and have a good time. You're staying there sort of late to help clean up and things too, you know. So I feel that you have a lot of follow through in your life, you know, because this is something that really does mean something to you. It's something that's important to you. If it wasn't important, you would be there while it was good, and then you'd say, I'm done. You're willing to endure the sort of hardships of it because you care so much. Okay, and that's why I think you have maybe a little bit of not a temper, but you maybe have a little bit less tolerance for nonsense right now, because this seems like it's the crucial stage when everything's about to sort of, this is it. Like now we've got to be very careful. Like I always say, when we're almost at the summit of the mountain, that's when we really need to be careful. There's less room for errors. There's less room for mistakes right now. Okay, let's put this card into some context and let's see what's going on, what you're doing. Oh, look at that Sun card. That is the health. That is the wealth. That is the success. That is the achievement. That is the feeling of pride, right? Resulting from your achievements. This is a big success for you. This is something that you're doing that's going to like put you on the map. Okay. This is a real jackpot here. We've got a Hermit energy underneath everything. We've got the Moon card over there. We've got the High Priestess over there. And we've got an 8 of Cups moving forward. This is something that's going to improve your situation. Okay, that's what I'm getting with the 8 of Cups there. That this is something that you really need. It's like, I kind of feel like you've been praying for this because this is how you're sort of lifting yourself up out of that 8 of Cups. You're bettering your life. You want more for yourself, you know, and for your loved ones, for your family, friends, for everyone really. Okay, I like that. Over here we have the Art or Temperance card. We've got the Death card. You got an Ace of Pentacles, there it is, and we've got the 4 of Cups. So the 4 of Cups is sort of pulling us up out of the 8 to a 4. I think that's a very good, that's progress there, you know. I like it, and I like how much major arcana energy we have too. Quite a bit, quite a bit. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it here with Tiny Bob Ross. Happy little Bob right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation and the conclusion that we need. If you have a prediction for that card, feel free to put it in the comments down below. Okay, I encourage it. Let's use our intuition. Yeah. Looking around the room, I see that your intuition is sort of front and center, or it's sort of, it's kind of, it's up above. It's sort of casting its light on everything else. Okay. You have the full moon and you have the sun card here, which I think are very powerful energies together. We've got a lot of major arcana though, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 major arcana energies. This is a big jackpot, and I think that you have been praying for this. Okay. I think that you've been suffering, you've been sacrificing, you've been showing up every day, you've been persistent, you have endured all the hardships. You've been through it. You have been through it. Yeah, gosh, a lot of major arcana. The Hermit underneath everything, I think, is really the sacrifices that you've made. The Hermit's kind of like saying that you've had to say no to a lot of things that you wanted in life because you're focused on this. You know, and so it's kind of like you could have been out having a good time, but no, you chose to focus on this work. And it's because this is what's important to you, right? And this is maybe something that's going to bring you more success rather than a temporary relief from suffering. It's something that's going to be more long-term, something more permanent, right? So I like that. I like the Hermit energy. You went into this not knowing everything, right? This was something, and every major event in life, every decision that's worth anything, if it's worth the paper it's printed on, right? It's going to be an encounter with the unknown. It's going to be you sort of peeking into the void a little bit. This is a dark doorway, the moon card. So anything that's worth doing is going to have this aspect of fear, this aspect of uncertainty, and this aspect of sort of darkness, right? In the sense that it's new. We're pushing the boundaries of consciousness here. You have to venture into the unknown if you're going to do anything worthwhile. Otherwise, you're just sort of repeating things that have already been sort of established, right? But what's very interesting is that once we get into it, we get all this light, right? We get the sort of inner light, the outer light, the psychic light, all the clarity, all the perception, everything is revealed to you. But first you had to go through this dark doorway, and you had to reach into the void a little bit, right? You had to peer into the abyss. And that was a big deal. It probably wasn't an easy decision. You know, it took a lot of courage for you to do that. Very good wonderful major arcana energy. And you've got the Art or Temperance card too, which is sort of, you're willingly putting yourself into a pressure cooker because you know that it's transforming your life in a meaningful way long term. Right? The Death card is a long-term transformation over time. It's something that lasts, right? Whereas the Tower, maybe in this case, would signify a kind of short, a very intense but very short-lived change or development or gratification or, you know, development. Whereas the Death card is really slow, steady. It's got the longevity, you know. Very good. Man, you got the best, and you got your intuition, you got your inner light sort of guiding you, right? And we've got this jackpot, we've got this success. This is going to be a big win for you. Okay, this is, I think you're almost here. You're almost, you've almost completed this thing, right? So we've got all our major arcana energy. Then we've got fire, we've got water, don't have any air, right? We don't need it. We've got our earth card. In some ways, I want to point out the Ace of Pentacles here. This is the position of what we don't want. Over here, why do we not want that? Why do we not want that? What I feel here is the last step. This is the summit of the mountain. When I see the Ace of Pentacles, I don't think it's the beginning of something, sort of. To me, it feels like the summit. And the further up the mountain we get, the less room for error or mistakes. Okay? So this is that summit. This is kind of saying that last step across the finish line. Why would you not want that? When we're over here, why do we not want that? Well, I think because in some ways, it's sort of bittersweet with that Eight of Cups. It's bittersweet because you finish this thing, and then it's almost as if now I don't know what to do, you know? That we're losing all of that feeling and that connection, that sense of purpose and that drive and that desire. We're losing that feeling when we cross the finish line. It's kind of like you're running the race, and yeah, you want to finish the race, but once the race is over, it's kind of like, it's bittersweet because it was just, it took up such a large part of my life. You know, it would take me running a marathon, right? I'd be at it for weeks. It was such a huge section of your life. And you felt so connected and so closely identified with it that crossing the finish line and sort of wrapping things up and being done is kind of like, I just kind of want it to keep going. I know it has to end. I know I want it to end. I want what comes next. But I'm going to miss it, you know? And that's the Eight of Cups. We miss it. We miss the feeling of it. It's kind of like you have this big party, you know? Cardinal fire energy. We get to the party. We love it. We've got the fixed fire energy. We're partying. And then the sort of mutable fire energy comes down. The party is winding down. People are starting to leave. The host is starting to put the garbage away. And it's just, I don't want it to end. I know it needs to end. I know I've got stuff to do tomorrow. And I'm going to have to go home and whatever. Or stop and get a snack on the way home, you know, as we do. But I'm going to be sad. I'm going to miss the feeling of being in that environment, of doing that thing. Once we get to the path of the serpent, of course, we realize that we need the Ace of Pentacles. We need the finish line because we know that every ending is a beginning. Every finish line is the starting line of the next race or the next lap or whatever. So every 10 is both the beginning and the end. Every ace is both the ending and the beginning. Okay? And so we realize that, yeah, we've got to start the next thing. I can't linger here and keep doing this. This is done. You've already accomplished this. This is giving you big time resources, for one thing, right? It's giving you the means to pursue what is coming next, but also the clarity and the insight to know what's coming next, right? So you can see the future, and now you've got the resources, the money, you know, to pursue that, to go on that next journey. That you've earned the right now to enter the next race. Yeah. So we need this card. Anyway, we need that one. The Sun card, of course, like I said, is the clarity. It is the win itself. It is the celebration. It is the glory of you succeeding. It is the jackpot, right? It's fortune and fame. This is also clarity, though. It's showing you the past, the present, and the future. Showing you the big picture, not just the big picture of, the last 50 years, let's say, but no, lifetimes, right? It's showing you your sort of cosmic destiny here. And I feel that this too is what we've been praying for. We've sort of been praying for like the revelation of what I'm meant to do. Why am I here? Not just, is this going to succeed, please? I need this win. I need this money. I need this jackpot. I need this job. I need this to be a success, whatever. But Why? Why do I need that? What am I meant to do? What does the future hold for me? And I think the high priestess is really us sort of, being open to receive that, is really praying for that. And then, it's one thing to sort of pray for revelation and another thing to receive the revelation, because it's not always what we want to see. It's not always what we want to know. Yeah. Anyway, hermit energy. Down beneath the surface, you got that hermit card. I think that this was a major section of life for you. A major chunk of your life was devoted to this. And it took you away from other things that you could have been doing, You were devoted to this thing. It means you didn't devote yourself to other stuff. It was a sacrifice that you had made. It was a choice of where you were putting your attention. Okay? It was a big deal. It was a big deal. Maybe this is a relationship thing. Maybe this was a project, a career, a course of study at university, whatever it is, a spiritual path that you've been on. Getting to the top of the mountain is allowing you to see the sun is there, right? Top of the mountain, sun is shining. It is bittersweet because, it's kind of the ending of that particular path or that phase of the journey. But it's a nice feeling to realize that you had what it takes. What is the hermit looking for inside of themselves? The reason why the hermit is all about this sort of introspection, looking for the light, looking for the clarity, looking for the answer to the question, who am I? Look within. What's in here? Well, you're getting the answer. You're getting a full revelation, Aries, of what you're made of. Okay? And that's, I think, where this moon card comes from. You're on a search. Whatever this win is, if this is a job, career, school, relationship, spiritual thing, doesn't matter. The point is that you were on the search. You were on the quest. You were on the hunt for yourself, for who you really truly are, what you really truly are made of. Maybe this was a marathon race, whatever. The moon card reflects that journey. You're entering in that dark, scary forest because you're in search of that sun. And you know that you're staring into the abyss. But once you get there, once you engage with this, once you really take the first step, more and more starts to be revealed to you. Because you're the light entering. That's a dark, scary forest. You don't realize that you're this radiating sun, and you take a few steps inside the forest, suddenly it's not a dark forest anymore because you're bringing the light, So I think the further you went into this, the more it was revealed to you. And if we're asking Spirit for answers, we're praying for revelation, and I think it comes slowly over time, right? Until the culmination, until the real sort of jackpot of this thing happens, And then sort of the slow winding down aftermath of it. But this was a big risk. You didn't know how this was going to turn out. When we begin a spiritual journey of any kind, or a physical human path journey, whatever, career, whatever, we don't always know how it's going to turn out. But anything worth doing, right? Anything worth doing is going to have that element of uncertainty, of fear, of unpredictability, of darkness, right? We can't predict the future. There was no guarantee that you would find what you were looking for, and there was no guarantee that you would like what you found, or what you achieved, or what the result was of this effort. But you did it anyway. And I think it really is paying off for you. Okay? Really, truly is. It's because you were open to whatever. You just kind of said, look, I want the revelation. I want to see this through to its conclusion. And I'm open to whatever that's going to be. So we're trying to sort of temper our expectations in a way. That we didn't have a particular picture of the goal in mind and say, if it's anything other than what I'm imagining, I'm going to throw it away. No, we're open to whatever the result of this is. It's kind of like you're going to run this marathon. You'd be like, I'm going to finish the marathon race. I don't know if I'm going to be first place or last place, but dang it, I'm going to finish it. And whatever I learn about myself along the way is meaningful. Yeah, very meaningful. But this is a big win. I mean, you're finishing this race. You're getting to that finish line. It's a little bit bittersweet because it's a big chunk of your life, and it took a lot of effort, and it was a very meaningful experience for you along the way. But what's coming next is going to be absolutely amazing too. And I think now you're winding down from this current race, and you're saying, okay, I'm going to start getting excited for the next one now. Yeah. That's going to take us over to the path of the serpent. And as we talk about these cards, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free, doesn't cost anything, supports the channel. I also have another channel, Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories. I try to post 1 or 2 stories every week. Go check that out if that's your sort of thing. Okay. Your general energy in the Art or Temperance card. This was you sort of similar to the Moon card. Voluntarily putting yourself into a pressure cooker. You entered into a situation that you knew was going to challenge you, because this is that sort of environment that is going to refine who we are. That it's going to show us where our weaknesses are. Whatever this race is, if it's a marathon where you're running a marathon, you're going to know where all your weaknesses. You're going to know, my knees are bad, or I really don't have the cardiovascular health I thought I did, or whatever it is. This is a situation that's going to show you what sort of things you need to work on in yourself. And who would volunteer for that? Who would willingly do that? Well, I think most of us here in the collective are on some sort of path of self-development, of growth, of evolution. And the spiritual path is all about that. It's not just about sort of glorifying and reinforcing our strengths, showboating our strengths. Of course I'm a runner. Of course I can do a marathon race, Don't be silly. What's the challenge in that? What's the fear? What's the uncertainty there? This is your 50th marathon and you always come in first. Okay, we get it. You can run a race, This is you doing something that is challenging for you. Something that's going to show you where you might not be as strong as you thought, where you need a little bit of refinement. Okay? I think this past situation was like this, and whatever the next situation is going to be, it's going to be a challenge too. It's going to be another gaze into the abyss. I'm looking at my studio door. It's covered in soundproofing. It's pitch black over there. I'm trying to put soundproofing all over in here. So literally it'll be pitch black when I'm filming. So I look beyond the lights and I just see, the void. And I like that. Keeps me focused, So anyway, pressure cooker. And I think that this is a spiritual path for you. And it goes right in line with our death card. Because a death card, it's not about death. It's not about something dying. It's not about decay necessarily. It's about sort of the recycling of energy. It's about growth. It's about evolution. It's about a forward movement, right? It's a card of change. It's the fundamental force of the universe. It's a card of transformation. It's a card of evolution. And I feel like you are, again, putting yourself in situations that are going to refine you, that are going to be part of this growth and this evolution. And it's slow and steady over time. You're not looking for just, I'm going to run one marathon and that's going to change everything. I'll be done. It'll be, a 2-week period of time. It's going to just destroy me completely, but that's it. One and done. No, this is a lifelong thing. It extends beyond lifetimes. It's a cosmic journey. The death card is slow and steady. It's not in a hurry. It's not waiting around for anybody. And it continues on indefinitely. Beyond just our little segments of lifetimes, And so this is the way you're living your life. You're always looking for things that will challenge you. You're probably into sports, team sports, competitive things. You like to challenge yourself. You like to find new things to do that will help foster growth. And they don't have to be physical activities. It doesn't have to be running a race, thankfully. It could be learning a new subject, challenging yourself with some sort of, intellectual, activities or new skills or, cooking or I don't know, whatever. New hobbies, new vocations, even emotional sort of challenges, emotional growth. Maybe the 8 of Cups here is through this pressure cooker situation, you're discovering what some of your emotional stuff is that you've got to work on. The emotional buttons, sore spots, weak spots, knots of karma that we need to untangle. I mean, it's an 8. The 8s usually are sort of a tangle that we need to unravel, And I think that's part of your overall spiritual journey. I don't want to take away from this Sun card and the absolute jackpot. You've been praying for this win. This is going to work out, whatever you're doing. It's going to reward you big time. Okay? Big success here. Jackpot, if it's financial or if it's just you sort of succeeding at this thing, it's going to be good. Okay? Fortune and glory here with this one. And of course, now we realize that we need to wrap this one up so we can start the next one. And the next one, of course, we've got to prepare for it. Now we've got that 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups, I think, is on the one hand, it's you sort of taking a break in between marathons to heal your body, to rest, to recuperate, to solidify and crystallize the lessons from this last one, to prepare for what's coming next. Okay, it's that liminal space. It's that period in between. It's the space between these sort of activities. Because the 4 of Cups is us. We've sailed in a storm. We've managed to find a safe little cove to park the boat, and we're just going to wait the storm out here. We're gonna get some more supplies. We're going to rest up. We're going to heal. We're going to fix the sails. We're just going to wait a couple days. And then we're going to go right back out to sea and probably find another storm, The problem is that we don't want to stay here. This is like there's a storm outside, so we all go down to the basement into the storm shelter. Makes sense. It's good. There's food down here. There's a bed, maybe a TV, whatever. You watch some YouTube. You're good. When the storm's over, after a few days or a few hours go by, we've got to go back out again. We're not living in the storm shelter. This has not become our new home. Okay? And so we realize that the work must always continue. Every ending is a beginning. Every beginning is an ending. The death card, slow and steady. Okay? Let's look at the mystery card. I love this reading for you. This feels like the answer to everything, It feels like this is really what you've been needing, what you've been wanting for, what you've been working for. It's all, you're being greatly rewarded with this Sun card right here. All of your sacrifices, all of your courage. So what is the mystery card going to be? Well, we had this ace, We're talking about this jackpot, this big win. We got the ace, the idea of the mountain. I think 10 of Pentacles. The ending is the beginning is the ending, but this would also be the jackpot. This would also be the resources coming in, the rewards coming in, the best life being created, that we're progressing in a way that we intend toward our sort of long-term earthly future, right? The success of our earthly lives. I'm thinking 10 of Pentacles here. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. Let's see what we have. Oh, yeah. 10 of Pentacles. You got your pets, your plants, your people. This is, for one, this is the compensation. This is you did all this work. Here is your reward. Okay. It is, it's an accomplishment of your goals. It is financial abundance. It is all the resources that you need, but you have to continue the journey. The 10 is not the end. Remember, the ending is just a beginning. We can't forget that Ace of Pentacles. The 10, any of the 10s, it's not the end. It may be an end, sure, but it's just the beginning of the next level. It's exponential, right? So the 10 of Pentacles, really, it could be 100 of Pentacles, it could be 1,000, it could be 1,000,000 of Pentacles. It's up to you how much progress you want to make. There's no limit. Okay? So the bittersweetness that's kind of saying, well, I don't want it to end because then it's the end, right? Just keep it going. Just go, apply your energy to something else. And that feeling of commitment, that feeling of identity, that feeling of enrichment and love and passion and courage, and, you'll get that feeling again. Right? We just keep it going. Spirit's saying that all the resources that you need will be on your path when you need them. It's like the marathon runner. When you're thirsty, someone will be there handing you a glass of water or a little Dixie cup full of water. Okay. Yeah, this is good. Big time confirmation. Big win for you, Aries. And I think this is what you've been needing. This is encouragement. This should encourage you to keep going, to rest, recuperate, restore, but then get back out there and do another one. Okay. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Aries, usually on Mondays and Fridays. This was a bonus reading, a special update for you. I feel like you needed this encouragement, this confirmation. Okay. So be sure to watch your Monday and Friday readings too. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Also subscribe at Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.